Hello, welcome back to the Bristow Church Garden. I'm going to do a little course on growing brassicas. Now the brassicas are a huge group of plants that include all the cabbages, cauliflowers, kale, broccoli, and also turnips and radishes and all the Asian greens. No, I won't be saying quite so much about them. Maybe be focusing on the kind of standard winter brassicas, like cabbages, Brussels sprouts, kale, cauliflower. Now you can sow these plants either in a seed bed, as we're doing here, or in pots and modules, but they all need to be replanted about now, kind of sometime in June. So these are not in their final place. So here we have some cauliflowers on the left. This is Brussels sprouts, some red cabbage. This is calabrese, so summer broccoli, and here's another cabbage, like a summer autumn hearting cabbage. And the sowing time for these varies quite a lot depending on when you want the plant to reach maturity. So these are all kind of sown in early to mid-April, and further on here we'll come to these cabbages here. This is January King winter cabbage, which is sowed kind of mid-May, and further on here still, this is the kale, which was sowed just a couple of weeks ago, and you can see is just coming up in the drills. Now I've got a spare drill in the middle here, which I'm gonna sow some Swede turnip, the classic Scottish neep. So I'm gonna try and drop a seed in every sort of 3 or 4 centimeters, and you can see this is the typical brassica seed, little brown round things about 1 millimeter wide. So don't sow them too thick. They are quite reliable germinators, so you can expect about 90% of these to come up. And if you sow too many, A, it's a waste, and B, you'll have a hell of a job thinning them out later on. And now you've sown the seed, you just want to cover them with about 1 centimetre of soil. Just loosely brush the soil in over the top of the seeds. Now, like many of our major food crops, the brassicas have a whole host of diseases and pests that you need to watch out for. And in the early stages, the main one to watch out for is flea beetle, which are like tiny beetles that will nibble away at the seedlings. And as they grow on, there's also cabbage root fly to watch out for, which will lay their eggs around the roots, and then the grubs hatch out and start to burrow away at the roots. So you really need to cover them with some netting, fine mesh netting that the flies and beetles can't get through. Later on, there's other things that queue up to have a bite out of your brassicas. Butterflies, cabbage white butterflies will lay their eggs on the leaves, and the caterpillars hatch out and devour them. And then in the winter, you need to watch out for birds, because a hungry pigeon can make very short work of your winter cabbages. Brassicas are one of these plants that really needs to be rotated around your garden. You do not want to be growing cabbages in the same place 2 years running. And this is mainly to avoid build-up of diseases, particularly club root, which is a major problem for your winter brassicas. So you can see here we've got 3 beds in this garden that are dedicated to brassica crops. So this one here will be, once it's finished being a seedbed, it will be for our winter brassicas. So purple sprouting broccoli, kale and Brussels sprouts. And here we've got some summer brassicas, so turnips and kohlrabi and calabrese summer broccoli at the back there. And finally, this bed here is going to be the home for our autumn cropping brassicas, so cauliflowers and cabbages mainly. Now when they reach this stage at about 7 weeks, you need to transplant your cabbages into their final positions. So try and lift it up like this. Try not to disturb the roots. If you need to hold it, just hold it gently by the leaves, and pop it into a pot just to take it over to the planting out bed. Now the main thing to watch when you're planting out is to get them at the right depth. You want to put them nice and deep so they get a good hold on the soil. So when they grow a bit bigger, they won't just fall over. So you want to basically bury them so that there's just these top leaves and the growing tip here poking out of the soil. So don't bury this growing tip, but you want to bury this long stalk. And really ram the soil down around it. And the spacing varies between different plants. Cabbages like this, probably going to put them out in like three rows, all spaced about 45 centimeters apart. But things like Brussels sprouts that are much bigger plants, you're looking at spacing of more like 60 centimeters. So Janet's planting out the rest of the red cabbages here, putting them in about a foot apart, and you can see after you put them in, they look a bit sad and wilt, but water them in, and after a day or so they will start to perk up and start growing again. So here are cabbages planted out, and so that'll do the job for now for keeping the butterflies off, and in time we'll probably have to replace that. We'll have to replace that with something higher as the cabbages grow.